Welcome back to Soft Spoken English. I'm Zara.
And I'm Ali.
If you're here for the first time, we're really glad you found us. And if you've been with us for a while, thank you, truly.
Today, we're going to talk about two words that almost every English learner mixes up at some point. And honestly, even people who have been learning English for years still make this mistake.
The words are make and do. They both seem simple, right? But the question is, when do you use make and when do you use do? That is what we're going to answer today.
We'll go slowly, step by step, with lots of examples. So don't worry, by the end of this video, it will feel much more natural.
Let's begin. Before we look at examples, let's understand the basic idea behind make and do.
Think of it this way. Make usually talks about creating something, producing something that didn't exist before.
For example, if you bake a cake, you made the cake. The cake now exists because of you. You made something.
She made a cake for her mother's birthday. Or if you write a list, that list didn't exist before you wrote it. You made the list. He made a list of things to buy.
Now, do. Do is different. Do is about actions, tasks, activities, things you perform or carry out, not necessarily creating something, just doing it.
For example, when you clean your room, you're not creating a room, you're performing a task. So we say, do the cleaning. I need to do the cleaning before my guests arrive.
Or when you exercise, you're not making anything, you're doing an activity.
She does yoga every morning.
So here is the simple way to remember it. Use make when something is being created or produced. Use do when you are performing a task or activity.
Of course, English is not always that simple. There are fixed expressions, combinations that you just have to learn. We'll cover those soon, but this is a good foundation to start with.
Let's look at common make expressions. These are phrases that English speakers use every single day, so it's really important to get these right.
Make a decision. When you decide something, we say you make a decision, not do a decision. It was hard, but she finally made a decision. We need to make a decision before Friday.
Notice, she didn't create a decision in a physical sense, but in English, deciding is seen as producing or reaching something, so we use make. Make a mistake.
When you do something wrong, you make a mistake, not do a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. That's how we learn. I made a mistake in my homework.
This one is very common, and it's one that learners often get wrong. They say do a mistake, but it's always make a mistake.
Make a phone call. When you call someone, you make a phone call. I need to make a phone call quickly. She made several phone calls this morning.
Make an effort. When you try hard, you make an effort. This one carries a lot of feeling. He really made an effort to be on time. Thank you for making the effort to come.
There's something gentle and sincere about this phrase. When someone makes an effort, it means they tried, and that matters.
Make a noise or sound. When something produces a sound, we say it makes a noise or makes a sound. Please don't make any noise. The baby is sleeping. The old door made a strange sound.
Make a promise. When you give your word to someone, you make a promise. He made a promise and he kept it. Don't make a promise you can't keep.
Make progress. When you improve or move forward, you make progress. You are making great progress with your English. The team made progress on the project this week.
Let's just stop here for a moment. Look at all these expressions: decision, mistake, phone call, effort, noise, promise, progress. None of these things are physical objects, but in English, we talk about them as things we produce or bring into being. So we use make.
That's a really helpful way to look at it. If the result of your action is something, even if it's invisible, something like a plan, a promise, a noise, use make. Now let's look at do. These are expressions where we're talking about tasks, duties, activities, things we perform.
Do homework. When students complete their schoolwork, they do their homework, not make homework. Have you done your homework yet? She always does her homework right after school.
Even though you're writing things, you're not creating the homework. You're completing a task that was already given to you. So, do.
Do the dishes. When you wash the plates and cups after eating, you do the dishes. It's your turn to do the dishes tonight. He quietly did the dishes while everyone else rested.
Do the laundry. When you wash your clothes, you do the laundry. I usually do the laundry on Sundays. She forgot to do the laundry and had nothing to wear.
Do your best. When you try as hard as you can, you do your best. This is one of the most heartfelt expressions in English. Just do your best. That's all anyone can ask. She did her best even when things were difficult.
Do a favor. When you help someone, you do them a favor. Could you do me a favor and close the window? She did a favor for her neighbor without being asked. When you study or investigate a topic, you do research, not make research. He spent months doing research for his book. We need to do more research before we decide.
When something causes harm, it does damage. This one surprises many learners. The storm did a lot of damage to the old building. Poor sleep can do damage to your health over time.
When you work out or stay active, you do exercise. She does exercise for 30 minutes every day. It's important to do some exercise even when you're busy.
So notice all the do expressions are about tasks, activities, duties. Homework, dishes, laundry, research, these are all things you carry out, things you perform.
Exactly. With do, you're not producing something new. You're completing or performing something. That's the feeling behind do.
Now, here is the part of the lesson that people find most confusing, because there are some expressions where the logic is not obvious at all. You just have to learn them.
Let's go through a few side by side. Make money versus do business.
We say make money because money is something you earn. You produce it through your work. He works very hard to make money for his family.
But we say do business because business is an activity, a process you carry out. They have been doing business together for 10 years.
Same world, finance, commerce, but different words. Make a bed versus do the ironing.
We say make the bed because you're arranging it, putting it in a proper condition, almost like creating a neat thing from a messy one. She makes her bed every morning before breakfast.
But do the ironing, because ironing is a household task you perform. I hate doing the ironing. It takes so long.
You make a plan because a plan is something you produce, you create in your mind or on paper. Let's make a plan for the weekend.
But you do a task, because a task is something you carry out. She completed every task she was given. Here's something that might help. Ask yourself, am I producing something? Something with a result, even an invisible result, like a decision, a noise, a plan. If yes, use make.
And ask, am I performing an activity, something I'm carrying out, a duty, a chore, a task? If yes, use do.
But honestly, some of it is just memorizing the fixed phrases, and that's okay. Every language has rules and exceptions to rules. English is no different.
Now, let's practice together. Ali is going to read a sentence and the word make or do is missing. Try to say the answer before we do. Go ahead and pause the video if you want more time.
Ready? Here we go. Number 1. She, blank, a lot of mistakes when she first started learning English.
Pause 3 seconds for viewer to think. The answer, made. She made a lot of mistakes. Because a mistake is something that is produced, something that comes out of your action.
Number 2. Can you, blank, me a favor And pick up some bread on the way home?
Pause 3 seconds for viewer to think. Do. Can you do me a favor? A favor is something you perform for someone else. It's a task, a kindness, an action.
Number 3. I always blank my homework before dinner.
Pause 3 seconds for viewer to think. Do. I always do my homework. Homework is a task you carry out, not something you create from nothing.
Number 4. He blank a promise to call her every day.
Pause 3 seconds for viewer to think. Made. He made a promise. A promise is something you produce, something you give, so make.
Number 5. The children were asked to blank their best in the competition.
Pause 3 seconds for viewer to think. Do. Do their best. This is a fixed expression. Always do your best. It means to perform as well as you possibly can.
Number 6. The factory blank a lot of noise at night.
Pause 3 seconds for viewer to think. Makes. The factory makes a lot of noise. Noise is produced, so we use make.
How did you do? If you got all 6, wonderful. If you got some wrong, that's perfectly fine. That's how learning works. You try, you hear, you remember. Slowly, it becomes natural.
And remember, you can always come back and watch this part again. Let's close with a simple summary.
Use make when you are creating or producing something, bringing something into existence. Common with words mistake, decision, effort, plan, promise, noise, progress.
Use do when you are performing a task or activity, carrying out a duty or chore. Common with homework, dishes, laundry, research, exercise, favor, business.
And remember, some expressions are fixed. You won't always be able to explain why, but with practice and time, they will start to sound right to you. That's the goal.
That's all for today's episode. We hope this helped, even just a little, because every small step forward matters.
If you found this useful, please share it with someone who is also learning English. It costs nothing to share, but it might mean everything to someone who is struggling with this.
We'll be back soon with our next video. Until then, keep going. Keep practicing. You are doing better than you think.
Take care.
Goodbye.